Trust is important in business, but trust alone does not protect you from cyber attacks. The fact is that when we look at some of the biggest breaches, they didn't start with hackers breaking in. They started with good employees making normal mistakes. So, yes, it's common to see small businesses saying things like, we trust our staff, or our people will never do anything wrong, or we are like a family here. And that trust may be completely justified. But here's the problem. Cybersecurity threats don't care how trustworthy your staff is. And attackers don't rely on bad people. They're simply relying on human behavior. And we know the reality of human error. What are some of the things that often happen at work? We see people clicking phishing emails that are convincing. We see people reusing passwords across systems. We see people logging in from their personal devices. People lose their phones and their laptops, and people rush when they are busy. And none of these make people careless or malicious. It only makes them human. So when we build security on trust alone, then it's as if we are betting our business on the idea that no one will ever make a mistake. And is that realistic? The obvious answer is no, it's not realistic. And that is where controls come in, which are a very important part. Controls. Security controls are not about distrusting people. Security controls really are only about accepting reality. That is why we put things in place like multi-factor authentication, limited user access, login monitoring, and approval steps for sensitive actions. These controls are put in place to reduce the blast radius even when something goes wrong. In fact, these controls protect staff too. And yeah, that is one thing that most businesses miss. That is that controls protect your staff as much as they protect your business. So if an employee's account is compromised, putting in place multi-factor authentication can stop the attacker. Putting in place limited access as a control can reduce the damage. Putting in place monitoring helps you to respond quickly. And in that case, these controls ensure that the employee is not blamed when these things happen, but they are rather protected. So we can say this, that good security removes pressure from people because the system is doing the heavy lifting. Here's a key takeaway from this video. Trust your people, but control your systems. Why? Because trust builds culture and controls protect everyone. Hope you enjoyed this video. Looking forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye.